Ricky here with Breaking Your Barriers on our segment Hanging Out with Local Heroes. And today's local hero, there's no words that I can put except for that of somebody who has overcome adversity, somebody who has faced, challenged, and knocked him down left and right. No matter what got in his way, he said, nope, I'm going to go and get over this barrier. He is the epitome of somebody who takes massive risk. Because if you're going to live your life vicariously. He is somebody who cannot stand still, but it wasn't always this way. I'm not going to get into too much of his story. So it gives me ridiculously awesome pleasure to have my brother from another mother who is in Korea right now. And the reason I bring that up is because he's all the way across the lake and he got up early to be on this show with us today. So my brother from another mother, all the way from Korea, Del Alvarez. Awesome having you, brother.
Thank you. Hi, good morning or good afternoon. I'm doing great. Yes.
Oh man. See, the reason I brought you on, Del, is because I followed your story. I've seen how you've gone from amazingly out of shape to this Spartan. I'm gonna call you a Spartan, the Spartan that you are. I mean, this dude went from being out of shape, letting work take over his life, to just inspiring so many people. So, Del, I'm gonna let you share that story.
Thank you. Thank you. So, actually, to be honest, I've been working out since 2009. I actually discovered running, uh, and then I started 5 kilometers. I was not really that big of a guy, I would say. I'm just a normal, like like I just wanna look good. And then I started running. But in 2000, eh, yeah, I did marathons too and ultra marathons. Have you heard about ultra marathons? Like
I couldn't even imagine an ultra marathon.
it's the 100K, 160K. So these are the races that I did in Philippines. And then I moved to Kuwait. And then somehow I I met a lot of friends and Filipinos there,
Uh-huh.
and then I think there's a problem among Filipinos. It is like our passion to eat whenever we are together. In 2020, during the COVID, I cannot say it's really a depression, but I was a little bit sad, you
Yeah.
know. And then there's really no opportunity to join any races. I was depressed, and then because the fact that I think I paid him, I said to myself, oh my God, I need to work on this. And then like I slowly lost from maybe 95 to 78 kilograms.
Hmm.
And then when I lost my weight to 78 kilograms, my trainer told me, how about joining a body contest, a competition?
Ah.
So yeah, I started in February 2021, and then I lost weight in April to 78 kilograms. That's April, and then in the competition was October. So I became 69 kilograms at that point in time. But that was really hard, I think, to lose that kind of weight
Yeah.
from 95 to 69.
Wow.
So that's really tough for me. But I don't want, I mean, I want to do it still, but it's not easy. Now I'm 80 kilograms and I'm okay.
Oh man, I gotta tell people the reason why it's important that I share your story is because, like what you said earlier, ordinary guy, extraordinary choice, extraordinary habit,
Mhm.
extraordinary decision in your life. That's what you did. And it's important for people to realize that regardless of where they're at in their life, they can do something. And that's why I
Mhm.
love having you on here today, Del. I've seen what you've done, especially when you posted that before and after picture. I
Yeah.
almost lost my mind. I was like, man, Dell made me realize, hey, if I can do it, you can do it too. And not only are you an amazing competitor when it comes to these physical sports, you're also an amazing Toastmaster and speaker.
Yeah.
This brother made it to the quarterfinals just a year or a couple of years, I think last year, right? Or this year?
Last year, yeah.
Last year.
Yeah.
This brother made it to the quarterfinals. That's nothing to laugh at or sneeze at. That means he won district and moved on. And then after that, you'd have to get to the semifinals and then the finals. So he made it far. So if there's anything you want to do in your life, Dell is a perfect example. If you make that decision and work hard, you'll do it. How did you get over that and move on to becoming as fit as you are?
I think actually this is the material that I want to really cultivate,
Hmm.
or maybe in my next speech, but I do not really have an idea yet. But it's about um everyone needs to pay. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really have to be in cash, but it needs to be on our effort, or like our commitment. We need to really invest, because once we know that we are investing it on something, and we are aware of what we want to be, then definitely we can achieve it. For example, like, I really want to lose my weight, and uh, I I have an idea in my mind, so I decided to hire a trainer. But it's like a money that I paid for him. But eventually, uh, in my mind, because I know that I invested on it, I know I need to work hard. It's
Right.
like, because once you paid for something, it's like, oh my God, this should work. And I think people should also do the same. I think whenever they try to invest on that, definitely, I'm sure that even you, if you decided to, okay, I'm going to pay for something, and then if you don't work for it, you will say, it's really like, it's a waste, and it's a shame on you, But at the time, I don't want to fail, so I never failed. Yeah, I didn't fail, I think. Yeah.
I love what you said. That is powerful. We don't need to pay based on cash. We need to pay our dues. We need to pay in our blood, sweat, and tears. We need to pay
Yeah.
by deciding. That is fantastic, Del. I love that share. And I can visualize that. What's crazy is this. We got some people who they pay their money, and let's say it didn't work for them. They find a way to come up with reasons why it didn't work.
Yes, right, right.
So that's a little bit crazy to me. And we've all been there. I've been there. I'm like, oh, it didn't work because it was Monday and whatever reason it may be. Before getting into Toastmasters, were you nervous? And what made you want to get into Toastmasters?
I knew Toastmasters in 2008 when I was in Colorado, but I thought that club is Toastmasters is only in that club. I didn't know it's international, but in 2012, my friend told me, "Hey, Del, do you want to go to Toastmasters?" It's like, what's that? Yeah, I know that, but I didn't know it's worldwide. I didn't know it's global.
Mhm.
So, and then I started attending, and then my friend quit Toastmasters, but I stayed in Toastmasters. Yeah, on my first try in Toastmasters, it's a table topic question, and then I still remember it. What is the most important letter of the alphabet? That was the question to me. And then I only spoke for 10 seconds. And then I still remember my response is like, the most important letter in the alphabet is I, because it's represents me. Thank you. It's like, hey, Del, you need to speak for 1 minute
One
at
minute.
least. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. Actually, I'm really scared of table topics, but
Mm.
I think it's something that I really need to overcome. In There was a contest wherein I spoke for 59 seconds, and my friend was laughing at me because, like, how could you speak for 59 seconds? Like, you didn't you could have stayed for like one more second, but you didn't. And you're disqualified because you're under time and table topic. That's the worst thing that could happen to you. I'm like, yeah, I know. Of course, I would really love to mentor. I would love to help others who are asking for help, you know? So yeah, I continued even though sometimes it's not always a bed of roses. And in the competition, to be honest, I also do not have intentions of joining, but every time, every year there's a slot, you know, and then I don't want to waste it. So I'm like, okay, I will just join with my write up, and then I'm always winning in the area contest, and then in the division contest. Sometimes I would win, sometimes I would lose,
Yeah.
but that's fine, you know. And if I told myself if I lost the contest, I would be really happy too to support the next person. If it really touched a person's life or your message really went across, you will definitely win. And if it didn't came across to them, it means that you really still need to do something on your speech or your how you deliver your speech. So yeah, it's just like every year I'm joining with a different topic and different idea. But I'm just glad that last year I was talking about my experience in scuba diving,
Mm.
like when I got my license in
Wow.
scuba diving. Yeah, I was just freaking scared in that field because it's like something that is really unknown to me.
Yep.
But like I shared my experience and a little bit of humor because you know in people my coach in or my scuba diving instructor doesn't know how to speak English, so we only communicated in Korean. But I'm like I like okay, I'm gonna die here for sure. But
You've proved to so many people, including me. That's why every time I see the work that you post and leave, it's so inspirational. You don't even need to say a word. That's how inspiring you are, brother. And talking to you now, it's such a
thank
blessing for me and blessing for the other people who are going to be watching this because you are not a man who is scared to take risk. You
thank you.
are a massive risk taker. You've moved to Kuwait, you've moved to Korea, you've taken on a field that wasn't your true love at the time. You've joined all of these ridiculous ultra marathons, super marathons, and you've joined Toastmasters, you've joined contests. And the beauty about this is you're so humble. You've always been humble in your post. You've always been humble in your sharings, and you've always shared so that people realize you too can do it. Do you bring that same energy from working out into everything you do in your life?
Hmm. The answer is yes. Yeah, I'm whenever I'm in Toastmasters, I always give my energy, share my energy, I would say. And then I don't really consider myself as an extrovert. People say you're an extrovert. No, no, man, I'm not an extrovert because I also want to be alone most of the time. But like if you are with me, then I don't want us to have a dull moment. I want this
Right.
experience to be always amazing for you. So I'm giving my best foot forward so that this this moment that we are sharing would be always remarkable. So yeah, even in running, I mean I'm a late I would always think that I'm a lazy guy because like whenever I do my training, every day I try to run 5K now. It could be more. I want to do more, but I don't want to do a lot of exercise because I need to do other things, you know.
Yeah.
But I put like at least 1 hour and a half in a day to work out.
Wow.
Yeah, like 30 minutes for running and then 1 hour for strength training. That's what I do.
What's your experience and personal tips and suggestions for people to change their habits so they can change their life?
I would say that just just go out.
Hmm.
Yeah, just go out and then just start walking actually. Like and then normally I would give a tip to my friends like, okay, do 5 minute 5 kilometers,
Yeah.
like walking, just walking, and then record that moment. For example, you walk for 1 hour, and then next day try beating 1 hour, and then like 59 minutes, like run a little bit and then walk a little bit. And then next day you try to beat 59 minutes to make it 58, make it 57. And then beat your record every day. And that way you could really improve. But of course, I would always suggest them to get a proper clothing, for example,
Mhm.
because if you're running on a stiletto, then it will not work, something like that. Because people, this is another thing. They're trying to save money. People are trying to save money, but in the end, it's like giving them, you spend more because, like, for example, you want to start running, but you don't want to buy a proper pair of shoes, for example. So what happens is that they are running and then they end up being injured, and then they being end up being depressed, and then they say I cannot work out, something like that. So in my case, I try my so whenever I'm doing my running, and then my friends saw me like, hey, your shoes are really torn, and then I'm like, yeah, I can still work on it. No, you're already in pain, because last month I did a 21K, and then I said, oh, my feet is hurting because your shoes are old, man. Yeah, I know. I will buy a new one. I mean, it's not always the best for me, like sometimes I try to, what do you call this? I don't follow my own rules sometimes.
Mm.
But
Mhm.
that's the rule, that if you don't follow it, you need to suffer the consequence. So
Yes.
yeah, anyhow, if I will be giving my suggestion to others, just try to beat yourself every day. You don't really have to be amazing when you go out there, but just to beat yourself every time. Yeah. Sometimes one of my friends like, Del, I need sponsorship from you. Okay, how much? It's not really big, like for example, $50.
Right.
Okay, sure. But there's one condition. You need to finish the race. Otherwise, you have to pay me back.
Right.
Like 100K race registration is just $50, but $50 is good money.
Yeah.
And then, like, if you didn't finish the race, you have to return the money to me. And
That's
then
a fantastic deal.
yeah, he finished the race. And then one of my friends, like triathlon, it's like, you have to finish the race, otherwise I will be disappointed.
Yep.
Like, you have to pay me if you don't finish the race, like that, because your payment is completing the race.
That is,
Yeah,
and you know what you just shared right now, Dell? You made that person accountable to you.
that is right. That is right. That was
That, wow.
I'm trying to do. Well, to be honest, when I started doing all this after I went to Colorado,
Mm.
like one of my mentors, he's like, he loves hiking. And then in I do not know, but in the Philippines, I didn't know that all of these things exist actually. But I'm just maybe lazy in my own. I was in my own world, and then when I went to Colorado for training, one guy is having a hobby that is like motocross, and then the other guy is into racing, and then my mentor is doing hiking, and then there's another guy. His hobby is making a pen. I'm like, yeah, pen making. And then he showed me how it's done. Yeah, yeah, it's like customizing pen, and that's his hobby. I said, my hobby is watching movie, watching movies. I'm like, I cannot really call it a hobby. Okay, from now on, like when if I'm as soon as I return to Philippines, I will do something for myself. And then I found a like a mountaineering club, and then we moved to running, and then suddenly like everything just put in place, you know. And then here I am right now. Yeah. But to be honest, like when I did a couple of half Ironman.
Mm.
It's like 2 kilometers swim, 90 kilometers bike, and then 21 kilometers run. And then you need to finish it in 8 hours. I failed 4 times on that before completing one. Yeah.
And you didn't quit.
Yeah. I was like, it's really embarrassing because I think I I have a lot of excuses like I'm not training well, I'm fat, I'm not really good. I always like fall
Yeah.
on my bike. But anyway, eventually on my fifth try, I finished the race. Like I know I'm not gonna fail in this time. And then now after that we joined more races, and then I also joined an Ironman. Ironman is double of the half, and then it's like 3.8 kilometers swim, and then 180 kilometers bike, and then 42 kilometers run. And then you need to finish it in 17 hours. But anyway, I finished it on my first try, I finished it in 15 hours, 30 minutes. And then on my second try, I finished it in 13 hours, 30 minutes.
Do you get a chance to rest or is it nonstop?
It's up to you.
Oh, so you can stop and rest if you wanted to rest, and then you just have to continue to see how long you can go.
Yeah. But you need to finish the race in 17 hours.
Gotcha. Oh,
Quitting is always playing at the back of my mind and say, I cannot really do it. Like, I'm happy with 50. I'm happy with 100. And then there's in the 100K, I met a guy, an Australian Chinese guy who he said, I'm quitting. I will meet my wife and my kid in the next checkpoint. I said, I will quit too. But and then while we were chatting, I didn't get his name actually. When we were chatting, I I said, I think I need to tell my friends that I will quit because it's just right for them. I'm also accountable for them. And then I called them, hey guys, I'm quitting. And then they said, why?
oh,
I'm tired. You know, like tired is not really an excuse for us. Are you injured? No.
no.
Can you walk? Yes. Then you cannot quit. And then I told that Australian guy, I'm sorry, my friends are not allowing me to quit. They will not forgive me if I go home like this.
Wow.
Eventually, I finished the race. I didn't really even know, you know? Yeah.
Wow. I'm telling you, Del, what your friends did for you, you're doing for other people right now. Yeah, you are that inspiration. I'm telling you, even though you were dying, and I know I can imagine you were dying. You went so many miles. Your body was giving up, but the most powerful thing that you had on you was the mindset and then your accountability to your friends who believed in you.
Yeah,
That's im-
true.
that's impressive, brother. Man, I gotta ask
Actually,
you. Yeah,
the
oh, go
funny
ahead, go
thing
ahead.
there is that on the second night,
Uh-huh.
I was dreaming, I was hallucinating already because we didn't get any sleep. I didn't get any sleep. And then I had a dream. My hallucination is like I'm dreaming that I was running on a different place. But and then I need to slap my face because you know we are running on a cliff and then you could die, you know? Yeah, that was good.
That's amazing. If I were to ask you how many marathons you've run, how many do you think you've run so far?
Um Total everything combined
Uh,
about 70. Because it's like a 10 year already a 10-year journey or maybe more because
Jeez.
I started in 2009.
You've
Yeah.
run you've run more than I've driven.
Maybe, yeah.
Brother, is there any last awesome words that you would like to leave with your listeners here in Korea and of course in
Mhm.
the motherland, the Philippines? Is there any amazing words you'd like to leave for them? And
I would say just go out. Yeah, and then I already said it a while ago that It's like go out and beat yourself. There's no one here in this world who is concerned on your progress but yourself. Maybe your friends, but the point is sometimes we are not aligned with the goal of our friends. Like for example, you want to diet. Yeah, you're on a diet, but they're not on a diet.
Right.
So if you really want to succeed, you need to really focus on yourself, and you really need to know what you want. Because if you do not know what you want, people could you could be swayed by others who wants to. You don't really need to be like this and that, but then you would think, yeah, I should loosen up. But is that really your goal? So if you are only focused on your goal, even though you fall sometimes,
Yep.
definitely you could always get up if you know what you want. So find that goal that you really want to achieve and make it happen. Yeah, that's it.
That is more than it, brother. What you shared is something we should all take to heart. Don't let anybody sway you. Don't let anybody sabotage you. Don't let anybody take you off of Mount Fuji, that path towards that amazing marathon that you're doing, which is called life. Brother, your words have been amazing. They've been extremely inspirational. Your life is inspiring. And I'm telling you, I look forward to having you on again because I'd love to have you on again, Dell. You're an awesome dude. So that being said, we just want to say thank you, Dell, for being here first and foremost. And as we say on Hanging Out with Local Heroes, inspiring one person and changing one person's life at a time. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, Ricky. Yeah.